Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. As you can see from this beautiful green dragon, we're here today with the Wood Elves, who I don't play too often. Figured I'd take them out for a spin. They are quite a bit better in Mortal Empires. So we're going to be facing up against the Empire today on the beautiful Marbad's Tomb map, which of course has that nice red wash over it, as all maps do in Total War Warhammer 2. Let's get straight to the army composition. So we've got a Glady up on a Forest Dragon. Of course, she's got the Prey of Anathrema. I did cut the Arrow of Kurnus as it's a little bit bugged right now. I noticed the accuracy is not great, but we do have the Prey of Anathrema to pin units in place, as well as Dragon Breath, of course. Very strong overall. Fear and Terror, only 50 armor on this dragon, so not a ton there, but, she, of course, has the missile attack as well, so very strong. For the front line, we've got Eternal Guards with shields mixed in with a couple of Dryads. Dryads are going to be good against most Empire infantry. They did get a bit more armor in Mortal Empires. Of course, they also have physical resistance. They cause fear, are immune to psychology. Of course, they're weak to fire damage as well. Still a very good unit. We've got two Glade Guards with Starfire Shafts. Of course, they have heavy armor-piercing missiles, flaming and magic attacks. Very good stuff. We've got two War Dancers as well. These guys gained anti-infantry in Mortal Empires. 49 melee attack makes them very formidable damage dealers. Can really cut through most Empire infantry. We've got a Branch Wraith for the healing. He's got that melee attack buff, which is currently hitting those two War Dancers, as well as Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma. Very good stuff. So I love the Branch Wraith. A lot of good utility spells. Melkoth's and the Earthblood are two of the more useful spells, definitely. We've also got a unit of Glade Riders with Hagbane tips to do a bit of early skirmishing. And vanguarded way out here in the back, we've got one unit of Sisters of Thorn. So you guys may have seen these guys in my recent Best of 5 with Janet on occasion, which definitely used them to very good. He used them to very good effect against me in that one of those replays. So I figured I'd take them out for a spin here. They're a very good and very interesting unit. So let's talk a bit about the Sisters of Thorn and kind of what they're about. They've got 50% physical resistance, meaning they only got 15 armor and a very low model count, meaning they're a pretty squishy unit. But that 50% physical resistance does mean that against standard non-magical attacks, they won't take a whole lot of damage. They do have a couple of support buffs as well. Shield of Thorns, which gives missile resistance and weapon damage. So if you're getting shot, you can pop that on yourself or a group of Wild Riders to help take less damage from missiles, or you can pop it to get increased weapon damage. Curse of Anra here is a speed, accuracy, and melee attack debuff, which is very strong. If these guys are getting chased by a unit of heavy or light cavalry, they can pop that, and then with their poison missiles, which actually do quite a bit of damage, per entity model, they can definitely stay out in front of heavy cavalry and just continuously harass and tie them up, continue to apply that poison damage. And of course, Wild Riders are, very heavy, or not very heavy. They're very light shock cavalry. They are very good shock cavalry, 67 charge bonus with the Frenzy active. Very good stuff. So I did get a Dragon Breath here to start things off, tearing into those Tattersouls there, just doing a ton of damage and actually killing around half their unit models, which is really nice right off the bat. I'm going to take some volleys from those silver bullets, though. For my opponent's army, he's got the General of the Empire on a horse, currently being shot by my Glade Guards here. He's also got a Bright Wizard, so Lord of Fire's pretty good here. Let's look what he's got. Flaming Sword of Ruin and Cascading Fire Cloak, as well as that Kindle Flame. Very good stuff. His front line is a mix of swordsmen, flagellants, very good stuff. These guys are all good against low armor targets, which of course the Wood Elves have plenty of. Spearmen with shields, very good picks. I do like the pick of the silver bullets as well. They'll cut through the physical resistance of any tree units, and if they were to turn around and get one or two volleys on these Sisters of Thorn, they could take them out in a big hurry, of course, with their magic missiles. Sterling's Revenge, I'm a little bit on the fence about these guys. Free Company are not that great here, just because they get outranged so heavily by the Wood Elf skirmishers that it's going to be tough for them to really ever pay off. That short range is just really a tough break for them in this particular matchup, and the Sterling's Revenge are a very expensive unit of Free Company militia, of course, being regiments of renown. So, they can definitely be good against tree units, but I am not a huge fan of them in this matchup. But let's go ahead and kick things into full gear. You can see I've got my Sisters of Thorn onto that Hammer of Witches in the very back. Going to be taking it down right out the gates, which is a really nice pick for me. Immediately paying those guys off, taking out a more expensive unit. We've got the Glade Riders here, unfortunately not being very well microed, but they are going to kind of interrupt my opponent's advance here a little bit. We did get charge in here in the front by the Zintler's Reichsguard. Got the Prey of Anathema down on them. Now we're going to be inundating them with the Eternal Guards with shields and firing in with those Glade Guards with the Starfire shafts as well. Over on this side, same thing. These are actually Knights of the Blazing Sun here, and you saw do a ton of damage against those Dryads. The shock and the flaming values there just absolutely ripping that unit of Dryads to shreds, but the Eternal Guard are on station for support, so they're going to be inundating these Knights of the Blazing Sun with their anti-large armor piercing. Eternal Guards will trade very, very effectively with higher tier units. That's why going wide against the Wood Elves is such a good idea, because they'll trade less effectively against low tier units. To that effect, though, we did get the War Dancers in on this fight. You can see them fighting against these Flagellants and Sigmar's Sons. Definitely doing some really cool flips and jumps. Very cinematic combat here. Knights of the Blazing Sun are pulling away, and it is worth noting that Knights of the Blazing Sun do have magic resistance, so they're not going to take as much damage from the Starfire shafts as a traditional unit of heavy cavalry. But already we're pretty far ahead on the balance of power. We've got the Wild Riders charging in the back rear. We managed to get on the silver bullets, did a ton of shock damage. We're going to be immediately pulling away. Going to be using the Sisters of Thorn kind of in support of these Wild Riders here. So we're going to pull them up and apply the armor-piercing missiles. We've also dropped the Curse of Anraher to debuff the speed of all the units in this pocket here. So between the poison and that speed debuff, we're going to be able to easily just, you know, cycle charge in and out with these Wild Riders on this group of heavy cavalry. So I really like Sisters of Thorn. You probably don't need more than one, but one group, well microed, can definitely do a ton of damage, and these guys are never going to be able to catch my cavalry here, so the entire time I'm able to tie up these two groups of heavy cavalry, which would otherwise be doing quite a bit of damage to my infantry. It's great for me. The Glady is taking a bit of fire here, so we're going to pull her back away and just make sure we keep her, you know, healing. I just wanted to tear out this kind of pocket here. We managed to do so, so we're going to be now flying away. Generally, the Empire's gotten into my backline, but this is a bit of a rough situation for him. I'm going to drop down my dragon in just a moment here and start absolutely taking him out. War Dancers are doing a good job. They've cleaned up most of the Flagellants in here and the Sigmar's Sons. Very, very bloody battle. As you can see, the corpses strewn all over the ground here. Branch Wraith is in here supporting as well. He's got decent armor and physical resist, so he's not going to take a ton of damage in that engagement. We are just currently targeting the Glade Guards onto this Sterling's Revenge here. We've got the Dragon fighting up against the Empire Lord here. He's definitely not going to like that engagement too much. So he's going to try and pull away here, but I do have a Prey of Anathema charge in my back pocket. So as soon as he tries to pull away, we're going to be able to pop that and just shoot him down. So we're pretty far ahead on the balance of power already, and just decided to take a break from testing. I am going to be doing some Bretonnia testing coming very, very soon. Just wanted to get in some battle replays for you guys, and I figured I don't get to showcase the Wood Elves too often here, so you guys might want to see them. And it does kind of showcase a little bit of what I was talking about yesterday, and that the Empire is going to struggle in a lot of matchups now where they didn't used to struggle. You can see generally the Empire here getting that Prey of Anathema, and the armor-piercing missile fire is going to bring him down. That's going to put the dagger in the balance of power for the Empire. You can see these heavy cav here just still being tied up in the back line. We did get some Dryads in there to kind of inundate them and tie them up. Now we're going to be finally bringing in these Eternal Guards here to just deal the finishing blow. So, well played to my opponent. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this battle. We'll go ahead and just grab some cinematic shots as the battle wraps up here of these Eternal Guards holding against the Knights of the Blazing Sun here. We've got the Bright Wizard mixed in here. Very, very cool stuff. Such a beautiful game, man. The artists for Total War Warhammer have done such a good job. Beautiful, beautiful game, and a great cinematic time. You can see the Sisters of Thorn have pretty much not been touched at all. They've been able to use most of their ammo and just haven't been touched at all. So Sigmar's Sons are the only ones left, so we'll go ahead and fast forward through the end there. But a very fun battle. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that. In terms of this matchup, I really like War Dancers here. They were able to cut through all those Flagellants and the Sigmar Sons, and you can see across the line here, none of his infantry did particularly well. He did get some good kills with those Knights of the Blazing Sun early on, some really nice charges on the Dryads. You can see the Dryads themselves didn't rack up a whole lot of kills. You know, they did okay for themselves. Eternal Guards with shields doing a great job against the heavy cavalry, though. Sisters of Thorn, super clutch in the beginning there, just taking out that Hammer of Witches, immediately paid for themselves, and then just being annoying, really, more than anything, in picking away at those Knights of the Blazing Sun and kind of keeping them occupied in that back line space. Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts, of course, being MVPs that AP missiles can be. I didn't micro those Glade Riders with Hagbane tips particularly well, but, you know, they could have potentially been useful here. Gladiator Dragon also got 82 kills, which is very decent. Can't shake your head at that, so... In terms of my opponent here, I do like the Knights of the Blazing Sun, just because, of course, they're going to be great against any tree units. The Hammer of Witches is also a nice pick here as well, because, again, great against trees. Same thing with the Silver Bullets. Honestly, if I were my opponent, I would have just hung back and used that cannon to shoot a little bit before the engagement started. There was really no reason for him to rush forward there. I mean, I would have gone up and started skirmishing with him a little bit, but he could have got maybe, you know, 3 or 4 extra shots off with that Hammer of Witches, and potentially done some damage to, you know, some of my infantry before the fighting started. Tough to say, but hope you guys enjoyed watching that battle. If you did, like and subscribe. I keep it coming with more Total War Warhammer 2 content every single day, so stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.